Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a found footage horror film, VHS 94. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with footage from the tape titled Holy Hell. This features footage of SWAT members raiding a cult place where they discover traces of mass suicide. In the footage, a lady is seen deliberately inhaling a goopy substance in front of a set of television. In a few moments, the lady's eyes are bleeding while a cultist is around her. The footage manages to be taken by the SWAT, prompting them to raid the cult place, thinking that the lady is addicted to the drug substance. Soon after, the SWAT team heads to the cult place with their cameraman. The SWAT team eventually arrives in the warehouse, and they instantly barge in. As they enter the warehouse, they find a private jet while a cult announcement is being played in the speakers. It announces that the signal is the stimulant and the sedative, but as well as the salvation. They push through inside, where they find another man with his eye gouged out. It appears that the man recently inhaled the goopy substance. As they walk forward, they find the television set room from the footage earlier. The room has several women who also inhaled the goopy substance. The other officers continue searching the room, while the others proceed to search upstairs. Then, the television set in the room plays a tape of a news broadcast titled Storm Drain. The scene then moves to the storm drain footage, where a news anchor named Holly is broadcasting news with her partner about the urban legend called Rat Man. The Rat Man is known to live in the sewers and only comes out at night. It also disappears once it gets hit by light. Residents claim that they witnessed the Rat Man in the sewers. Holly and her cameraman are tasked to cover a video about the Rat Man. They come to the opening of the sewers, only to find a mattress inside, implying that there is someone living there. Holly then gets tempted to cover the bad condition of the people living there. She walks deep inside the sewer, forcing the cameraman to follow her smelly hormone trace. There they find a homeless man covered in a black substance. The man utters Ratma, and black saliva comes out his mouth, scaring the shit out of Holly and her cameraman. They try to run away, but a group of cultists ambushes them. Holly wakes up inside the cult place deep in the sewers. There, she explains to the sick men that she is trying to help them by covering their story. The cult leader reveals himself and orders to pick the cameraman. He calls the Rat Man, who turns out to be their god. The Rat Man, which has the head of a rat and the body of a man, crawls out of the hole, and it is called Ratma. The cult leader scoops the Rat Man's black saliva. He pours it into the face of the cameraman. The black substance acts like an acid, which melts the cameraman's poker face. It turns out the saliva burns his ugly face, since he was not deemed worthy by the Rat Man. The cult leader then places Holly in front of the Rat Man to test if she is worthy. The Rat Man then spits smelly saliva on her face, but it does not burn her sexy face, implying that she's worthy. Soon after, Holly comes out of the sewers, while covered in black saliva. She eventually goes back to work to report the Rat Man story. During the broadcast, she keeps unconsciously uttering the word Ratma. A large amount of black saliva comes out of her mouth. The black saliva splashes to the face of her partner, making her partner scream in pain. The face of her partner melts from the saliva, live on the news screen. The scene then moves back to the Holy Hell footage. There, the SWAT team finds a chapel room, where there are creepy broken mannequins on the bench. They also find more human eyes on the bench. The giant screen in the chapel begins playing footage titled The Empty Wake. The scene then moves to the footage played on the screen. The footage features the wake of a deceased man. Only the funeral manager is present at the wake with the funeral host. The funeral manager explains that the casket is closed because the man died in a bad accident. Because of the accident, the man's face was ripped apart. After the funeral manager leaves, the host is left alone in the wake. She keeps waiting for a visitor, but there is none coming. She then calls her friend to check if the man's wake is publicized in the obituary. There is a storm outside, and after a loud thunderstorm, the lights turn off. The lights eventually go back, and she notices that the casket is in a slightly different position. She knocks it and notices a movement inside, making her think that the deceased man is still alive. Eventually, a visitor arrives at the scene, claiming to be the deceased man's relative. The visitor just utters a chant in a foreign language and immediately leaves. After that, she receives a call from her friend, reporting that the deceased man is the guy who was shouting gibberish for hours before jumping from the roof of the church. Just then, the electricity goes off from the wake, leaving everything in darkness. The casket moves again, forcing her to run away, but she finds the door is already chained. She goes back to the funeral room, and the man's remains are nowhere in the casket. She then finds the zombified deceased man moving around with a face. He then tries to attack her, but he cannot find her since his face is already gone without GPS gadgets. She keeps moving around to avoid him until his reanimated face on the ground manages to see her. His eyes on the floor function like a GPS gadget and allow his body to find her. The man's body then manages to attack her. Just then, a thunderstorm struck the room. In the end, the host reanimates as a zombie and jumps out of the window. The scene then moves back to the holy hell footage. The officer goes upstairs, where they find more corpses near a set of stuffed toys. The other officers are lost inside the building as they lose communication with their team. They then plan to find the exit immediately. The speaker announces a cryptic cult message, saying all are welcome, all are watching, and forever starts right now. The scene then moves to the footage titled The Subject. In the footage, a living human head is attached to a robotic body, which burns after the attachment, making the human head suffer in pain. An insane prosthetic doctor named Dr. Crazy extinguishes the fire and marks the robot as a failure. Dr. Crazy is trying to create a cyborg by attaching robotic capabilities to humans. He is using kidnapped humans for his experiments. After a few months, Dr. Crazy thinks that he can create a cyborg by preserving only a certain part of the human brain. He will perform the experiment on a young man, tagged as Subject 98, and on a woman, tagged as Subject 99. Dr. Crazy then uses a mechanical saw to open up Subject 99's head, and he removes her brain from her head. While doing the procedure, Subject 98 attempts to fight back, so Dr. Crazy administers more sedatives to him. After a few months, Dr. Crazy successfully creates a cyborg using Subject 99. She has a camera eye that records everything she sees. Dr. Crazy feels joyful as Subject 99 is responsive to his words. After that, he performs the same procedure on Subject 98. He cuts Subject 98's arm and head. In return, he attaches a robotic arm and robotic head to Subject 98. Meanwhile, the television broadcasts about Dr. Crazy, reporting that he is responsible for kidnapped humans in their area. The news also reports that Subject 99 is missing, and Subject 99 is able to recognize her old life despite being a cyborg. Subject 99 attempts to free herself, so Dr. Crazy repeatedly hits her with a metal tray, causing her battery percentage to drop. The police officers arrive at Dr. Crazy's warehouse to arrest him for his crimes, but their leader orders them to kill Dr. Crazy after his horrible crime. The police cameraman is shocked after the officers killed Dr. Crazy. The police officers find Subject 99, and they are completely horrified to see her condition. She suddenly moves, forcing the police officers to push her away. The leader declares that she is no longer human anymore, so she must be killed. The lights suddenly go off, and Subject 99 manages to crawl away. The cameraman sees her, but he does not reveal her to the leader to prevent her from being killed. One of the officers opens up the door to search for her, but the door explodes after he opens it, causing severe injuries to some of the officers. As the officers continue searching for Subject 99, they accidentally reveal Subject 98, who now has a bladed arm and a robotic head. Subject 98 then moves around and instantly cuts the officer's body in half. The other officers try to fight back, but they also suffer the same fate as Subject 98 cuts their diabetic bodies to onion pieces. Meanwhile, Subject 99 finds documents about her old life and her former face preserved in a jar, still sexy. She also sees a blueprint of her design, which shows a gun supposedly attached to her arms. She takes a look at a mirror and witnesses her horrifying appearance. She now had a robotic head and arm. She wanders around the warehouse, only to find more bodies subjected to Dr. Crazy's failed experiment. She finds a woman who is still alive after being attached to the robot. She ends the woman's miserable life to stop her suffering. After that, she finds the robotic gun and attaches it to her arm. She then uses it to fire back against the police officers. She repeatedly shoots the officer's head until it is cut into onion pieces. The gun arm also shoots a bomb, which explodes upon impact. An officer approaches her, and she grabs a metal bar to stab the officer's head. After that, she finds the police cameraman who pleads for his life. He then guides her toward the exit. As they're walking away, the police leader arrives and instantly fires at her, causing her to fall downstairs. The leader then repeatedly punches her robotic head out of anger. Suddenly, the compassionate cameraman shoots his leader to save her. The mad Subject 98 arrives and cuts the cameraman's body using his blade. Subject 99 stands up, and she repeatedly smashes Subject 98's head into a mashed potato, causing him to die. In the end, the weakened Subject 99 slowly walks away. The scene then moves back to the holy hell footage. There, two of the SWAT officers killed the SWAT cameraman. The lady officer declares the cult line that forever starts right now, revealing both of them to be part of the cult. Meanwhile, the other SWAT officers appear to be missing. The SWAT chief is frustrated that he lost contact with the other officers. The cult member officer advises him not to lose his head. He appears to be hypnotized, causing him to stare at the television. After that, the television plays footage titled Terror. The scene then moves to the said footage, which features a white supremacist militia that aims to cleanse corrupted America and make it greater again. They have a heavily fortified base in the middle of a snowy field. Inside, they are keeping a man in a secured cage. 3 militiamen enter the cage. The man pleads for his shitty life, but they still shoot him, causing the man to fall. It is then revealed that they are planning to attack a government building to take America back to its former glory. They survey the government building and go back to their base. There, the SWAT chief turns out to be one of their supporters, as he provides them with guns and ammunition. After that, the leader and the members enter the base. They are in the man's cage, who is alive again. It turns out the man is a vampire, and his blood explodes at the sunlight exposure. It is then revealed that they will use the vampire's blood to blow up the building to save their efforts from making a bomb. The leader claims that God bestows them with bombing power through the vampire. Then, a member shoots the vampire, and they drain blood from him. They put the blood in the rabbit and expose it to the sun, causing the rabbit to explode. One night, the militia holds a party, and they become drunk. The drunk cameraman goes to the vampire guard and asks the guard to play with the vampire. They enter the vampire's cage, where the guard plays around with the vampire. The guard then gets exposed to the vampire's diabetic and explosive blood. Morning comes, and the militia members wake up from the sound of an emergency alarm. They rush to the base, only to find one of their members lying dead. The leader tells the gunman to hold fire, as he's calling the guard inside the base. Just then, a head, which appears to be from the cameraman, flies towards them. The gunman panics and shoots at the base, forcing the other member to shoot him. The guard walks out of the base and instantly explodes. The leader and the remaining members come inside the base to hunt the vampire. The leader shoots at the attic to clear it. After that, a member climbs upstairs and is instantly bitten by the evolved vampire. The leader shoots again, and he thinks that he has already killed the vampire, so they climb upstairs to get it. There, the vampire manages to attack the other members, leaving the injured leader alone. After the vampire ends the life of the members, he drags the injured leader alone downstairs. The vampire opens up the roof, causing him to be exposed to sunlight, and explodes in front of the leader. The scene then moves back to the holy hell footage, where a SWAT member appears to be already dead, with his eyes gouged out. Besides him, the SWAT chief is tied into a chair by the 2 cult member officers, who reveal themselves to be responsible for collecting the violent tapes. They then declare the SWAT chief to be their final kill. After that, they repeatedly smash his head until it is broken into onion pieces. In the end, the 2 cult member officers declare the tape to be their best tape ever. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.